What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Aaron. This is Aaron's Aquatics. Today's video is really exciting. Today's video is the start of my shrimp adventure. That sounds really dramatic. It's not really supposed to be, but I'm really excited, so I say words and they just come out. So, the purpose of this is the setup of two 20-gallon tanks, specifically meant for shrimp breeding. This video is going to cover how to set up a tank, what parts you might need to set up this tank, and I'm going to try to make it quick as possible. What I don't like is seeing tank setup videos that take 30-40 minutes, so I'm going to try to keep this quick, simple, and I'll try to leave as many links in the description below. Without further ado, let's jump right into this. To start things off, let's begin with the tank. I went ahead and purchased two 20-gallon rimless tanks from Boost Plants. These tanks are beautiful, they're amazing, I absolutely love them. Right off the bat, I did a leak test on both tanks. This leak test is meant to detect whether there's leaks coming out from the corners, coming out from the sides, from the bottom, it doesn't matter. There is nothing worse than setting up a tank, putting your substrate in, all your heaters, your filters, and the thing starts leaking. You gotta tear the whole thing down. Don't do that. Take the extra time, get this done. Actually, you know, the entire time I was doing this, I was kind of entertained. My cat circled the thing. It was really interested to see what was going on. My girlfriend's brother, he was there, and he was trying to convince my cat to jump in the tank. And luckily it never happened, because that's really the last thing I need right now. While the tank is filling for the leak test, I kind of wanted to go over some of the stuff that I bought for the tank. Now, just a preface, you are by no means required to buy all of this stuff. Just, you know, buy what you think is right, what's within your means, be smart about it. First up, we got some Bacter AE, which is a supplement for a bacterial culture. I've got some salty shrimp, bee shrimp, mineral GH+. It's to remineralize water from an RODI system. I have a TDS meter for total dissolved solids. It measures the TDS totals within your tank. I've got some cholla wood in the back there, and that's meant to just kind of, I believe it releases tannins, but it's a good place for shrimp to just kind of hide and relax. Next up, I've got three things. I've got some giant caterpillar leaves and some alder cones. The caterpillar leaves and the alder cones, the same can be said for almond leaves and others. Those are meant for supplementing a shrimp's diet. They're unique to them. I don't think you necessarily need them, but they can be good. They're really inexpensive. They're great. Also, I've got a digital thermometer. I like using the probe kind versus just a glass thermometer. And this one, it was pretty cheap, and I really liked it. These right here are my two double sponge filters. You can see right here that the sponges are actually missing. They've been sitting in my 55-gallon tank, kind of absorbing some of that bacteria, and I'll just go ahead and add those back on once these are installed into the tank. Right behind those, I've got some Jaeger Eheim. I believe these are 50 or 75 watt heaters. They're both very good. I've always been a huge fan of Eheim heaters, and they've always done me right. For the light setup, I went with some Phoenix 24/7 Planted Plus. I actually have this light on my 55-gallon. I absolutely love it. Do you need something like this? No, not necessarily. We're just keeping shrimp here, but I love planted tanks. I love plants in general, and the ability to cycle through light intensity from dusk to dawn is just fantastic. Last but not least, I have a Barracuda Aqua FX. This is my RODI system. I'm currently not going to be using it for the cycling process of this tank. However, right before we start putting the shrimp into the tanks, I will be using the RODI system. For those that don't know what an RODI system is, it's a reverse osmosis deionization system. It sounds complicated, but it's not. It's essentially taking all the crap out of your water and giving you 99.9% pure water. And for some of the shrimp that I want to keep, you kind of need that. In the next step of this build process, I wanted to spray paint the back of this tank. Now, in all of my history, I've always used this kind of polymer material that you adhere to the back of the tank, usually just a solid black color. This time, however, I wanted to do it with spray paint. I picked up a can of Krylon Black. It's a matted black color. I then took my tank outside, put it on top of some trash bags so that, you know, the bottom didn't get scratched up or anything. And I took additional trash bags as well as the lid that came with the tank, and I just kind of surrounded it. I didn't want to get any of the spray paint anywhere else on the tank, so, you know, you can protect yourself. You can grab some newspaper, or in this case, just some garbage bags. When you do start spraying, spray left to right in long, even coats. You know, keep the can about, 8 to 10 inches away from the glass. This process shouldn't take too long. Really, for an aquarium project like this should only take about 1 coat. Some spray bottles will say come back 6 to 24 hours later and do a second coat. You can if you like to, if you've got the time. But for me, I wanted to get this going, so I only did 1 coat. I think it came out perfectly fine. It's super simple, it's super easy. I'd recommend anyone to do it if they've got a little bit of spending cash and some time. Okay, so what have we done so far? We've done a leak test, we've spray painted the back of the tank, so now we need to go ahead and add the substrate. The substrate I chose is Amazonia's Aqua Soil. The only reason why I chose this is because I kind of had it lying around, but coincidentally enough, this stuff is amazing for certain species of shrimp. This Aqua Soil is loaded with a bunch of beneficial nutrients that really do help plants. It has natural pH buffers, which reduce the pH inside the tank to really nice levels. The one thing you do have to watch out for, though, is Amazonia has a lot of ammonia inside the soil. So when you're cycling, you're going to see higher levels. It may take a little bit longer to cycle, but honestly, the benefit outweigh that extra time, so I would definitely 100% recommend this stuff. So in this build, I'm kind of going for about 1.5 inches to 2 inches of substrate. I don't want this to be too deep. This is meant for shrimp. I'm gonna have some plants, so as you can see through this process, I am adding more substrate to the back of the tank. This is a very, very common practice when it comes to aquarium aquascaping. The purpose is to give forced perspective and an extra layer of depth when you see things further out that look potentially larger and things that might be smaller that are up close to the front of the tank. Okay, so right now I am ready to start filling the tank. I've got a plate right here that's going to help me kind of diffuse the water so we don't start disturbing the substrate. Some substrates it's not as bad, like sand, but with Amazonia or any soil-based substrate, you really get clouding issues, and you know, you're going to still get it here regardless. But so what I got, now I have a siphon, a python upstairs for my 55-gallon, but we're downstairs. What I'm going to do here instead, I've got my 5-gallon bucket, which eventually I'm going to be using with RODI water, but inside I've got just a little submersible pump, and we're going to go ahead and pump water in the smart way instead of cup by cup or taking this thing and trying to lift it across into the tank, because that's, you know, ridiculous. No one would do that, right? No one. Okay, so we jump forward, we filled both tanks with the hardscape mostly done. I'm still kind of undecided a little bit, but let me go ahead and explain somewhat. So right there, that's a coconut half shell. There's also a coconut half shell over here. What I'm going to be doing with these is putting my subwasser tank that you saw in a previous video on top of it, and hopefully give it a nice bed to grow out, to grow roots, and to kind of create this nice kind of lotus look, you know, where it spreads out. I think that'd be kind of cool. This tank's a little bit more dirty just because I had to play with the substrate a little bit more, but as you can see here, I've got a few pieces of the cholla wood just floating because it decided that it didn't want to sink. Only one out of the 4 pieces that I've got wanted to sink, which is fine. They're just gonna sit in there probably a day or 2, maybe. I did boil them, by the way, and that's something that I should have gone over, but it's fine. Basically, the coconut shells, the wood, I went ahead and boiled them, probably for about 10 minutes or so. Not really a big deal, just to kind of release some of the tannins that I didn't want in the water, to remove any kind of pests, anything really that you wouldn't want to see. But anyways, so what I'm gonna do from here is I'm gonna go ahead and assemble and put in the tank the heater, the sponge filters, the double sponge filters, and what else? I'll have to attach my air pumps to the sponge filters. So we'll go from there, and I'll see you guys shortly. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am back, and it looks like everything is good to go for now, at least. So let's go ahead and go over what exactly happened. Right here, we got our double sponge filter. That's working away okay. It's all right. I say all right because the air pump right there not sure if it's powerful enough to operate this. You can see the flow is coming out, but it's not as much as I want, so I'll have to do some research on that. Regardless, even if I do stick with that, I'll need to get a power head or something to help out with the flow just a little bit in the tank. I also, I don't need to really put it in there right now, but the little shrimp feeding tray on both sides. As you can see, the if I can focus just a little bit, the double sponge filter is on both tanks now, and you can see the Jaeger Eheim heater is also installed. But right now, everything is basically done. This is day 2 with the tank setups. As you can see, the water has cleared up a little bit more. This one, it's not as clear, but I'm pretty sure that's just because of the sediment issues that I had yesterday. You can see that one of the other wood pieces has sunk, the other two still taking a little bit of time. As you can see, I did get 2 new plants. So I went to the store today and I picked up some plants. The one in the back left, that is a cardinal plant. I'm not exactly sure which cardinal, but it's a very pretty plant. Hopefully once it gets a little bit more light, start doing some better. And I believe this is a, oh man, I don't even remember what this one is called. I'll try to add it into the annotation of the video. Anyways, they're looking really good. I haven't tested the parameters yet because honestly, I don't think I have to. I've dosed so far with some C-Chem Stability and Bacter AE as 2 ways to kind of give a kickstart to the cycle. I've added in a little bit of fish food, though I don't think I really need to, as kind of a boost, especially because I'm using Amazonia. That already has ammonia in the water. So we'll go ahead and go from there. But so far, this tank setup has been wonderful. It's been great. There really hasn't been that many problems. I have cut away some of the excess inline tubing in the center because there was just too much, and I'll probably do some more trimming to it later once I kind of get a final setup going on here, because there are still a few things that I'm going to be getting in, like the power head. I'm going to put one here, I'm going to put one here, kind of create some, or excuse me, over there, not here, there, to just create a circular current in these tanks, because right now, as it is, I mean, you can just look at this plant. If you ever owned one of these, you always know when the current's hitting it, and there's absolutely nothing hitting it right now. Not necessarily a bad thing, but I definitely want to get some current increase in here. Okay, well that is pretty much it. We have set up 2 20-gallon aquariums. I'm really excited with how they turned out. There's still a lot of work to be done. I want to install the power heads. I want to configure some of the airline tubing so it's a little bit better. It looks a little bit better. It's a little bit more optimized. Some of my wood that you can't see in the back is still not waterlogged yet. Once that's done, I can set them up, make the whole thing kind of fit together with the driftwood, the cholla wood. I still need to learn how to pronounce that word. I just really haven't taken the time. Anyways, so from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do at least 1 weekly update video on the cycling process of these, kind of the status, things that have happened within the tank, anything that I've changed. In between that, I also plan on releasing other videos, kind of my plans on what species of shrimp I want to keep in these 2 tanks, how I want to go about maybe breeding them. I'm very new to this hobby, so I'm still learning a lot. Hopefully, in my explanation, if anyone has any ideas or advice, I am more than willing to take it. I love hearing from from people on YouTube or other comments, so please let me know in the comment section below. That being said, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something. If you want to learn to set up a tank, hopefully this video helped you out just a little bit. So that being said, my name is Aaron. See you next time.